For a while, I have been interested in finding out what makes characters in a serialized cartoon so unique. What makes the narrative, the world building, and the characters of these TV shows surpass any other medium? This isn't to say that other mediums can't tell great stories, but I just wonder why these similar stories can't be achieved in any other mediums. But after much thinking and watching some new shows, I think I've stumbled across the reason, and it all has to do with embracing the format. Animation is a medium where whatever an artist can draw, is the limit to what can be told, or in other words, anything is possible, and a good animated show needs to embrace this if it wants to utilize their medium to the fullest. So today, I want to look at some examples to understand the true potential of a serialized cartoon and how shows could be utilizing the medium of animation so much more than they already are. The most obvious example of using a medium is with the characters. So many of my favorite cartoon characters are the ones who are the most wacky and just wouldn't work at all in live action. Hootie, the door demon of the Owl House, could not work in any other medium without being nightmare fuel. Even though the Owl House universe has set rules in how the magic works, Hootie is the only exception, being as long as he needs to be, having an infinitely large stomach, and just being the most strange character. Even in-universe, Hootie is an anomaly, with everyone either being confused, disgusted, or terrified of him, which makes it even funnier. He is a literal tube with a face, and is such a fun character idea. Of course, there is also Bill Cipher, who's also voiced by Alex Hirsch, a triangle with a top hat and arms, yet he is the main villain of Gravity Falls and is pretty scary. He is the chaos of God. He's the god of chaos, and his design so perfectly encapsulates that, and he is so fun to watch. So many of the characters in the Hellverse also fit into this. All of the sinners have their body influenced by how they die. There is Vox, who literally has a TV for a head, or Alistair, who's this talk show host mixed with a demon and a deer. Even Lucifer is just super fun. I am currently working on an animated short film, and I went through many iterations to make interesting looking characters, but my favorite of them all is called The Ball, and that is what he is. Although in shape language, a circle represents gentleness, the character, while harmless, is super aggressive, and he's my favorite character to write, draw, and he is what I mean by embracing the format. While I don't need every character in the Owl House, for example, to be as goofy as Hootie, just having characters who can play into the goofiness is one of the cartoon's biggest benefits, where just a character design can be used for humor in the show. In addition, the voice acting as well can play a big part. Unless a show is for children, there is hardly any overacting in live-action TV shows. But giving a larger-than-life vocal performance in a show is something so fun and what equates to what can be a really good show. Lucifer from Hazbin Hotel just overacts, but so well. I love Flintheart Glomgold, who isn't just a fun character, but has an amazing voice. The delivery makes him such a comedic character, and the best character out of a show with so many great performances. Or Blitz. Blandon Rogers, the voice actor, makes a lot of sketches on YouTube channel which remind me of Blitz, but the animation can really be used to accent the great performances. And the animation is something which really can go along with the voice. Because in a play, you overact vocally, but you have to fit, especially in the musical, but what they don't have is all the exaggerated movements of animation. Animation isn't bound to silly human rules like gravity, physics, or having bones. In a recent video covering art in animation, I talked about an excerpt from Richard William, where he always talked about how he's either slowing down or speeding up actions to add beauty to that animation and action. In addition to that, some of the most important principles of animation, squash and stretch or exaggeration, can perfectly complement a goofy design or an extravagant voice performance. In DuckTales, the animation is just gorgeous because they played into the cartoony origins of the show. They hold smear frames, they add motion lines, which makes for such a fun viewing experience. Another way you can embrace the cartoon format is with your storytelling. Scooby Doo is a talking dog. He is the father of cartoons. So, in Scooby Doo Mystery Incorporated, a show which is heavily serialized and tries to build a world with hard rules, how they explain Scooby being able to talk is something so unique, so fun, so cool. In the world of Scooby Doo Mystery Incorporated, there are aliens, which are the Anunnaki from the Mesopotamian mythology. They are the and the descendants of these Anunnaki can talk, explaining why Scoob and some other animals in the show can talk. But the really cool part of all of this is that the Anunnaki storyline connects with the big overarching mystery and connects Scooby-Doo exactly to the main villain and gives them a really interesting dynamic. I made a video going all over the lore of Scooby Doo Mystery Inc. and I highly recommend you watch it because it is insane in the coolest way possible. But I just love that whole concept because it embraces the cartooniness into the world of the story and uses it to make the show more engaging and the world building more expansive and fun without having too many other problems. Why I much prefer serialized cartoons over SpongeBob, Phineas and Ferb, or many other Scooby-Doo shows, which are great, is that they take all the fun parts of cartoons and deal with the harder problems. It isn't anything against the crews of the shows, but if a cartoon can embrace their format and the goofiness that can come along with it and weave all of that into one narrative, that will make for a truly special story. For example, the DuckTales reboot. It's a show which a lot of times feels very episodic, but it does put in the effort to connect their stories. It lives in the best of both worlds, and I can respect a show for that. A cartoon is a limitless medium, but with that power comes great responsibility when it comes to making a strong story. A cartoon can be endless fun, but the goal is that you got to make it work. It is one thing to be a one-off story, but to have story after story which all take place in that same universe is something challenging. But what you hope for out of a cartoon? The world building potential is unlimited, and if you can make all of that into a narrative which actually works, then that is amazing. When a show embraces their cartooniness and puts effort to make that work, we get a unique type of story which stands out from the sea of dark dramas which have overtaken the entertainment industry and are just getting samey and boring. Animation can be so fun, and embracing the cartooniness can do that perfectly. Another element which is very common in cartoons is romance. It seems to be in every cartoon, and it is very hit or miss. I recommend checking out this video to learn more.